two for the price of one. Or as I like to say, two stone birds. I got that from my boy, Johnny B. Good. What are we even doing here? Why are we here? Oh, maybe open you up a little bit. There you go. We're here to capture thoughts. Like a time capsule of sorts, I guess. Um, yeah. I want to keep a diary. So we'll see if this turns into my diary. Who am I? My name is Derek, and this light is piercing through me. We'll see if it blinds me by the end of this. That was how I knew it was time to hit go. Sometimes you just gotta go. I spend a lot of time thinking all the time. It's one of the things I do the most of. And realize that the more you think, the less you do. And if you don't do, then what's there to think about? So here I am doing something. We're gonna try this. Oh, hey, Chicago. I got my boy up. He's supervising. He's speaking through me. So where are we at? Today is June 23rd of the 20 and 25s. Where I'm at, it is 6:26 p.m. That would be Central. I am in Chicagoland, suburbs of Chicago, where I grew up and where I am now. And I'm on, what is it? This is the fourth year of my year off after high school that started 10 years after high school. But we'll talk about all that more later, I think. I don't even know if I'm going to edit this. I don't even know that I'll post this. I guess we'll find out. But this would be essentially, it wouldn't be my first video ever made to the internet, but it would be for all intents and purposes the first. But I've been live, so what else do I do? I am Rocket Replay Pinball, or created it. I'm a part of it. It's my business. I I do all sorts of pinball related things, fixing them. I rent some out. I've operated some, done tournaments and stuff. I played and competed a bit, but not really in a while. Just maybe something else we'll talk about a little more later. We made these shirts, me and Kay. You'll meet her, I'm sure. So for 2025, Rocket Replay has been reestablishing itself. But since I guess you'd say beginning of 2022 is when I really started being a full-time business. Started the summer before that, um, and I've done a lot of repairs, helping arcades get started up, helping arcades that already exist keep their pinball machines running, as it had turned into a bit of a thing the past couple of years, more than it had been, as people wanted to get back out and be social. People started to remember that pinball is one of those things, and it really does have its own little social everything, and it struck a lot of chords with me. As I was born in 1992. I'll let you do the math there. Easy math, right? Or how old am I? I'm 32. Crazy. And I like all the things from what would have been my childhood. And even as I look around in the background while I'm doing this, or what's in view, it's a lot of stuff that. So that's kind of what Rocket Replay actually is. It's all of the things. It's a replay of all the things that you forgot, or you thought you had to forget, or you got too old for. And pinball was definitely one of those things. And I have an interesting story about how pinball. Well, I don't know. Should I go into that story? What do you think? Should I go into that story? I forgot about you, but I didn't. I know you're there. Okay, quick version. I played pinball as a kid, right? This is like a little toddler and little boy at the bars in the '90s, and great games from that era. I don't remember it. I blocked it from my memory for most of my life. And I guess the reason that's relevant is um, I went to school to be an engineer, and then after school I went and was an engineer, and then I was an engineer at a cooler place, I guess. Um, and for some reason, it just never, I didn't remember. Like I thought about arcade games, I thought about video games, I thought about Pokemon cards, and a lot of the other Game Boy, all the little things that I did. For some reason, pinball is just blanked my memory, but like, I have other people who've recounted stories, in particular, of like the game, the game you remember as a kid type thing. So that game for me is Fishtails, and I can remember playing it at the lake in Wisconsin, but I can't remember, like I don't know how it slipped me for so long. And yeah, so I did pinball pretty much straight up for a good while, with a lot of other things before, in between, and after. And even collected some of the other things that I like in that time, but it kind of just became all pinball. And excuse me there, and I forgot about the rest of what Rocket Replay is meant to be. So it involves a lot of things, but it says Rocket Replay Pinball on the shirt. Now you know who I am, diary. No further introductions needed. So why am I doing this? What am I doing this diary video style for? What did I say? It's June 23rd. So, I haven't done as many pinball jobs as of late. I did one today, and I'm trying to get that spark back. I'm trying to be more creative, create things, paint things, and I've been a very left brain person. Pardon me. For a good all of my life, and extremely independent too, for all sorts of reasons, I guess. I don't know. I guess I just want to tell myself a few things so that I can look back. And I do believe in the world as we're all essences of the same bigger essence, you know? So if I'm sharing this with myself, then sharing it with myself uh, is sharing it with others, and sharing with others is sharing with myself. So I guess if I had an idea of what I was going to do when I hit go, which I'll tell you what, hitting go's hard, especially when it's the first time. So I just had to do it. But if I was going to have an idea of what I was going to talk about, it was a diary, a place to capture some thoughts and a stamp in time. Um, and to say that I'm not here to influence you. I'm not even here to influence myself. I'm just here to capture capture the time, capture my ideas, or maybe some of the things that I saw or thought that day. Capture the sun shining directly through. And tomorrow will then be today, you know. Today is only today until it's tomorrow. So tomorrow, hope maybe we'll see if I do this tomorrow too. But tomorrow won't be June 23rd anymore, and I won't have another opportunity to say it's today and this is where we're at. Even tomorrow, I could look back on the 23rd and say, wow, that was where I was at that time. Who knows? Maybe it'll be wildly different. And in a year, maybe it'll be even wildly more different. And saying this, if I were to look back a year from today where I was, June 23rd, 2024, where were you in last June? What would you have told yourself? Or what would you have wanted by now? You know? But I'm not back to that point. I'll do that a little bit. You got to stick with me. I will run you in a circle. Keep up now. I'm not an influencer. Not an influencer. So reminds me of a story that I like. My own story. I went to school at Arizona State University on the Polytechnic campus in Mesa, Arizona. And that program was for manufacturing engineering, along with a lot of other engineering. Uh, they partied in Tempe. We nerded out in Poly. Shout out my Polytech people. It's probably a lot different now. That's another thing I wish I could have captured in time. I do have a few things that maybe I've captured that in time. Maybe they'll show up. Dig up those time capsules. But I had a class. We had a class, and it was the hardest class in our program. There was two professors on our campus at that time that offered it, and you could go to Tempe to take it. Um, but the professor that taught the hard class that a lot of people failed. It was a very hard class. He was a legitimate rocket scientist. Like, it's not rocket science. Like, this class was kind of rocket science, but he was the rocket scientist teaching it. And I'll never forget what he said on the first day of class. And we go into this, juniors, some of them seniors retaking it, what have you. We went into this class, and he takes his cup of coffee like he did every day. He would always make his point at the beginning of his lecture. He set down his cup of coffee, and he talked a little bit about the heat in your coffee, and it was a thermodynamics class. So he was talking about the heat transfer, and when's the last time you held a cup of coffee and you actually thought, aside from being like, that's hot, put a sleeve on it, like think about how hot it is and how hot your body is and how the heat moves, where it goes. Heat transfers, by the way. Cold doesn't. I did good in this class, but to the point, he said one thing, and he'd already made most of us do it within those first few minutes. He said, "This class, I'm going to make you think." And I loved it. I ate that shit up. I ate that stuff up. I'm going to make you think. My goal is to make you think. So to sum that up, I'm not an influencer. My goal is to make you think. And if this is for you as much as it is for me, as much as it is, that's the exact same thing. My goal is to make myself think. And the thoughts I would have had in this time, if the camera wasn't looking at me and it wasn't being captured, would have been different. There's an essence in the thoughts that are captured with the essence of this moment. And I wasn't gonna edit it if I didn't have to, but there might have been some pauses in there I'll clean up, and maybe one word that I need to clean. I don't know. We're figuring this out. So that was one thing that I wanted to say. If I had a plan for this video, just getting about to the point, I guess we gotta wrap it, wrap it up. It's a diary, so Derek, don't worry so much about everything going on. It's a lot, and it's hard to just enjoy anything for the fleeting moment that it is. Enjoy it it has to have a purpose. It has to have a reason for doing it, a reason for investing the time in this, whatever it may be. Reason for the investing the money and reason for investing the thought. Sometimes you just need to do and don't think so much. And don't worry about worrying. Control what you can control. Take things as they come. That's what we've always done. But lean on others too. Give them room. Give others room. Give others some room. And just remember that in the grand scheme, a year will go by and this video will have captured, without detail, where we are right now, what I look like, what I sound like, where I am, things I talk about, and maybe the video even picks up the little bit of my aura. I guess we'll find out over time. You gotta start somewhere and know that the same things that got you where you are the same things that'll get you to where you'll inevitably be, which is anywhere. And the essence of nowhere, or now, here. Sometimes you just gotta pay a little closer attention to not paying attention. And go back to doing the things that take you into that realm, or continue doing them. Do what you feel. Feel what you feel what you do. If you do something, feel it. Feel what you do and do without thought having to preempt the doing. And don't do with the need to think about what you did. Of course, there's times where you want to reflect, but use that as a point of reflection, right? Not an excuse to do not more actions because you have to assess. Assessing for the sake of assessing because you took something is just another way to not take more action. Sometimes you gotta let the sun shine through. D L. Well, there we have it. I don't know what we have, but here it is right now. I'm glad we got to share this. And anytime we come back to this, we can share it again. So maybe we'll make a couple more of these, and you guys can get to know me a little more. I can get to share myself with myself a little more, and we can all think more, understand more. Compassion, I think, is something we could all lean into. Yeah. I think that's all I wanted to say today. I think that's what I wanted to say.